Hey guys, what's going on? Next is here, bring you guys a really quick tutorial. We're going to be covering gear options basically. So what I'm referring to here is your stat priority, what you should be enchanting, gemming, and of course anything else in that sense, such as reforging. So let me just quickly take off my glaives here and put on my actual weapons. So the number thing you want to do here is stat priority. So stat priority is basically what should I be focusing on and what should I be getting rid of. So the number one thing you want to focus on is agility. If you can't get agility, the next thing you want is critical strike rating. This is where reforging comes in, because in reforging you cannot take agility or any kind of main stat. You can only change secondary stats such as critical strike, haste, and mastery. So when it comes to reforging, what you want is critical strike rating if you can get it. If you cannot get it, then go for haste, and whenever mastery is present on the item, you want to take it away. So a good example here is mastery expertise on this helmet. Now I took off expertise here and gave it critical strike because critical strike is number one in reforging. If you cannot get crit, you want to get haste. As you can see here, this amulet has expertise and crit, and since it already has crit, you cannot get any more from reforging, so instead I took haste. Another example here is hit crit. I can't get crit again, so I took haste instead of the hit rating. Now the reason why I'm taking out hit instead of the mastery, such as on the helmet, is because the stat priority is agility, crit, haste, and mastery, but before that, in PvP, you want your hit chance to be 3%. No more than that if you can resist. Make sure it's always above 3%, otherwise you're going to be really upset when a Rising Sun kick hits. Or sorry, not hits. When a Rising Sun kick misses, you're going to be really upset. So after the hit, expertise you want 3% as well. Some people like myself prefer to play it safe and go with 5 to 6%. And the reason why you want to play it safe in this sense, at least I would recommend it, is because of leg sweep, the talent. You can see me mousing over it right now. It's a 45-second cooldown, and it stuns players for 5 seconds. This is one of your main abilities. It's one of your most valuable abilities to your team. It stuns someone for a whopping 5 seconds. It's amazing, and it usually forces people to either trinket or sit through the 5 seconds. And especially if you're going for a kill, it's really important. And it really sucks when you go to hit leg sweep and it gets parried or blocked by the warrior or the shaman or whoever you're attacking. They actually have a chance to parry or block this, and it really sucks. So that's why I like to stack the extra expertise, but it's really up to you. So expertise and hit, make sure it's at least 3% on both. And after that, you want to go crit, and then haste, and then, like I said, mastery. So whenever mastery is present on the item, you want to reforge out of it into crit or haste. However, if you're over the hit or expertise cap, that's what you want to take out instead. So overall, I've taken crit wherever I could. If I can't get crit, I took haste, and I overall end up with at least 6% hit. I try to get as low as possible. Anytime there was hit rating on an item, I took away from it, and yet somehow I'm still at 6%. So there's a lot of hit rating in Windwalker Monk gear. Expertise, I took it out until I had about 5 to 6%. Then I no longer took it out. Everything else came out of mastery, and I am stacking crit for 47%. That's weird. 47%. Oh, I know why. I don't have my buffs on. So with my buffs, I have 53% critical strike chance. So that's your stat priority, and that's your reforging. Now in terms of enchants, what you want here, actually I'll start with gems next. Gems, for the meta, I prefer Agile Primal Diamond, which is 300, or I don't know why I thought 316. It's 216 agility and 3% increased critical effect. You can see that right now in the socket on the helmet. It's a lot of damage increase. Not only just the pure agility, but the 3% increased crit chance as well is a lot. So that meta gem is amazing. The only other one that you could potentially take is the Tyrannical Primal Diamond, which gives PvP power and PvP resilience. I think there's a current season one, like a Prideful Primal Diamond or something. I don't know. Either way, the PvP meta is the one that you could also go for. But I think agility and crit effect is much better than the PvP power and resilience, especially since they nerfed the resilience in a recent patch. Now that's in terms of the helmet. For red, or the meta gems, for the red gems you want 160 agility. The gem is called Delicate Primordial Ruby, if you guys are wondering on that. So you got the red gem, the meta gem. Whenever you come across a yellow gem, you want the 80 agility, 160 crit. Take note here that all reforging and enchants and of course your gems are taken based off of stat priority. Agility, crit, haste, mastery. So agility and crit for the yellow, you do not want haste. Agility, crit is what you want. And this yellow gem is called Deadly Vermillion Onyx. Pretty cheap. I think the red one's even cheaper. Now let's go to blue. Now what you want for blue here is 80 agility, 80 PvP power. And what this gem is called is Perfect Assassin's Roguestone. Now if you don't want this and you want hit rating, you could go for the Glinting Imperial Amethyst, which is 80 agility, 160 hit rating. However, at this point of the expansion, there's so much hit rating on gear that you really don't need that gem. So just go with the Perfect Assassin's Roguestone instead. I will leave the names of these gems and enchants down below so you can just copy paste it into the auction house if you prefer, just to make it easier for you guys. So those are pretty much the gems, very simple. Just the red gems, the Delicate Primordial Ruby, the yellows are Deadly Vermillion Onyx, and the blues the Perfect Assassin's Roguestone. In terms of enchants, you can't get a helmet one anymore. In terms of shoulders, you want the Greater Tiger Claw Inscription, or if you're not very rich and you can't afford, you can go with the Tiger Claw Inscription. And that's going to give you the agility and critical strike. That's what you want for your shoulders. In terms of cloak, you cannot get agility, but you can get the next priority stat, which is critical strike rating, also known as Enchant Cloak Superior Critical Strike Rating. So that's what you want next. In terms of your chest, you could go with stamina or PvP resilience, but I prefer the 80 stat. You're going to get 80 agility out of it, which is one of your number one stat priorities. And then, of course, you get crit from that agility, and you get 80 stamina as well. So I recommend the Chest Glorious stats. In terms of bracers, you have Greater Agility, which is 180 agility. However, if you're a leather worker, you will get 500 agility instead, and you're saving yourself a lot of gold because the bracer enchant is quite expensive. In terms of gloves, there's no agility or critical strike enchant for the gloves, so I recommend the Greater Haste enchant, 170 haste, very simple. In terms of the belt, you want the Living Steel belt buckle. That's going to give you a free gem slot for any gem you want, and of course you want to use the Delicate Primordial Ruby for the 160 agility. In terms of leggings, you want the Shadowleather Leg Armor, which is going to give you the 285 agility and 165 crit. Again, if you're a leather worker, you will end up being able to make this for pretty much free instead of spending the gold. Now in terms of boots, this is a quite expensive enchant as well. The boots are Blurred Speed, 140 agility, movement speed increase. In terms of weapons, these are expensive as well. Dancing Steel on both of them. You'll get the procs, which give agility. However, if you want to play it safe, you could put on your main hand the, I don't know what it's called, but it's going to be down in the description below. I'll look it up after this tutorial. It's going to reduce your duration of being disarmed. I think it's a weapon chain. I don't know why it's escaping my mind. I'm pretty sure it's a weapon chain. Either way, that's what you want on your main hand weapon if you want to play it safe, because 8 seconds of no damage from disarm really sucks. So it's up to if you want the Dancing Steel or the weapon chain. Overall, that's basically enchants, your reforging, your gems, and your stat priority. If you guys want to see the next episode, it's going to be covering talents and glyphs. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.